Still spending hours on homework? These AI tools can do in minutes what takes you forever. Let me show you how to study smarter, not harder. Hey guys, welcome back to the EduTech channel, your go-to place for future-proof learning. Today we're going to be talking about 3 useful AI tools besides ChatGPT to help you in your student life. So let's get started. Do you ever get stuck rewriting a sentence or making your writing sound better? That's where Quillbot comes in, your AI-powered writing assistant. Quillbot is one of the most important tools that a student can have in their arsenal during their school and university life. We can see that it has a plethora of tools such as Paraphraser, Grammar Checker, AI Detector, Plagiarism Checker, and so many more. So if we go to this example paragraph we have generated from ChatGPT, and let's check out the paraphraser first. We can see that it has so many different ways to paraphrase your writing and so many languages like Australian, Canadian, UK, or United States English, and so many different languages that you can paraphrase it in. So if we start from the first way, which is standard, and we click paraphrase, we can see that in no time at all, only a few seconds, that it has paraphrased our paragraph into such a high quality paragraph. There's so many different ways that you can do this. If we go and humanize, it'll make it into a more human way, as we can see, or you can even make it more formal or academic too, if you're using this tool for school. And we can also do so many things like compare models, statistics, and you can even see the tone. Not only that, you can also custom rewrites the text to match the unique description provided, so if you want to paraphrase it in a specific way. The next is the grammar checker, and this is really cool because it has so many different tools. If we paste our paragraph, we can see that it has autocorrect on the right side. If we spell some things wrong, it'll tell us and we can accept the changes, and it can improve your fluency and your sentence structure to make it easier to read. And not only that, it also gives you so many different tools. You can enter specifically what kind of writing you're doing, and it even gives you a writing score out of 100. In this case, ChatGPT has given us a 98 out of 100 writing score. Moreover, it has so many different writing tools that we can use, such as continue writing and generating a list of ideas and writing an opposing view. If we choose continue writing, we can see that it writes more, embracing renewable energy sources. We can see that it writes such a high quality, expanding. And not only that, it can even write an opposing point of view, or it can write a conclusion if we ask it to write a conclusion. Then we can see that it gives us a really detailed conclusion on this entire paragraph. Now if we go to the next one, which is the AI detector, if we paste our paragraph and we click detect AI, we can also see that it has many different languages to detect it in. And if we click detect, it takes a couple of seconds, and we can see that it is 100% of the text is likely AI, which it is. We can also see how it has a confidence rating, which is how confident it is that this was written by a human. And we can see how there's different criteria, such as AI generated, and AI refined, human written and AI refined, and human written. In this case, it is 100% AI generated. The next tool that we have is the plagiarism checker, which if we paste our paragraph and click scan text, it'll go through a lot of database that it has and go through each one and see if it's copied. Now it'll just take a couple of seconds to do this. And we can see that there was no plagiarism found in this, and this is really important to check to see if your work isn't plagiarized and it's 100% legit. Now the next is the AI humanizer, which is really important for some people. There's a basic and advanced mode. If we go to the advanced mode, that we see that our paragraph, it makes it sound more human, but it still keeps the quality of the work. The next is also another really important tool, which is the summarizer. If we paste it here, it'll summarize this in a paragraph for us here, or which is probably even more important, in bullet points, as it gives you just the main points of this entire paragraph, and you can also like do it custom, like so it summarizes it in the way that you want it to. And there's so many different tools like Translate, Citation Generator, and Quillbot Flow, which allows you to write entire documents just like using all these different tools. Now, the second most important tool that we have is Notion AI. Now, what Notion AI is that it is an AI note-taking website. It allows you to like type down all your class notes into this, and it just uses AI to overall make your student life way neater. Now, at the home page, it gives you the basics on how to use it. Now, if we create a new page and we take these example notes from ChatGPT, if we call these history notes, and we just paste these like this, now we can see that these notes are really like messy and they're not clear. So what we do is, it says press space for AI. Now if we press space, we get this AI tab open, and we see that it has so many different tools that are useful for students, such as continue writing, make a table, make a flow chart, adding a summary, brainstorming, helping with code, asking questions, and drafting so many different things. Now, what we're going to do here is really useful for revision. Now, if we click add a summary, what it does is it reads the entire page and it creates a summary with all the main points from the notes that you gave. So we can see that here you can't really read anything, but in the bullet points we can see each like key point clearly, like World War I spanned from 1914 to 1918, what it was triggered by, and the main causes, and so many different things like that. Now, another really useful tip, or what you could call like a trick, is you can also ask it to create flashcards on this topic. Now what it does is it again thinks and it creates flashcards on this entire topic, and they're just like questions that you can really use to nail down your key concepts, like what were the dates, what treaty ended World War I, and you can use these questions to either make like real life flashcards or just for in general revision, like before a big test. We can also use the make a flowchart tool, and if we use it, it's about the timeline of World War I. If we enter it, we can see how it creates a really cool looking in-depth like flowchart on what happened. We can see that in 1914 the Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated, and war begins in 1914. The French War first starts all the way until 1919, where the Treaty of Versailles was signed, and you can see how it also, you can use this as a revision to get your key dates down and exactly what happened on those dates. Not only that, we can also use the AI to create a study plan. Now what this does is that it uses these topics, and what it does is it creates a study plan for you on what days you should study what on this topic. So what's really cool is it gives you exactly, you can further like personalize this, and for like how many days. In this case, it's given us a whole week to study for things, but if you only have 1 week, you can ask it to do it like day by day. And we can see that in week 1, it asks us to revise the cause and beginnings, and week 2, the key players. And at the bottom, it also gives us study tips, such as using flashcards for daily active recall. And not only that, it's the way that it's generated this is that it's kind of in a checklist form. So we can see that if we finish studying the main causes in detail, we just check this, check this, check this, and it helps us see what we've revised and what we need to improve upon and what is still left to revise. Not only that, we can also use this email to draft an email to our professor asking for help on this topic for a test. Now what we can see is that it makes an entire email for us. And hi professor, I hope you're doing well. I'm prepared for our upcoming test on World War I. We can see that it's generated an entire email for us, so we can just send to our teacher if we ever need help. And not only that, we can also ask it in the beginning of this to write a table of contents for this page. It thinks once again, and then it just starts generating. This is a really useful feature to have at the beginning of each page of your notes, so you can see exactly what it contains. And if it's the page you want, we can see how it has the first point, the key point summary of everything, then the flashcards, the World War I timeline, the study plan, and the email draft to professor. Now this is all in just one page of notes. If we click off this page, we can see how it has come under this first initial one, history notes. Not only that, it also has a student planner and class notes tab. If we click on student planner, we can see how this is a course tracker for each of your subjects. If we click on intro to biology, we can see how it's really basic right now, but you can add your own stuff. You can add comments, you can add quick links to the syllabus, weekly lecture slides, discussion boards. You can also check like your assignments. You can check them off if you've done them, and this is really useful for also just keeping track of your subjects. And lastly, we have the class notes. You can also add new subjects. You can put the name when like you created these and exactly what class you're doing in this. You can sort them by date or sort them by subject. You can see how it's like by subject now. If we click on one of these, for example, this is what you really use like during class. You can see that for math, it's given us some notes about integration by parts, and those tools that I told you about earlier, the AI, you can use them all here. You can ask it to write something. If you click backslash, you can see how it has so many different types of text. You can add bullet list, numbered list, and so many different types of tools that you can use. And for our third website / tool for students, we have Goth Math. Now, Goth Math, what it is that you can type or upload your question as an image or a PDF, and the AI just solves it for you. Now, I know it's called Goth Math, but it actually does way more than math. If we scroll down, we can see that if you upload your question, it does step-by-step solving. It gives you clear solutions, detailed explanations, and fast solutions. Now, we can see it has so many different subjects, such as maths, statistics, calculus, physics, chemistry, biology, economics, and many others. Now, if we go to maths, we can type or upload our question. Now, what we can do is, if we get our full screen, we have our maths question right here. If we upload it, go back in full screen, we can see that this is our answer here, and this is our expert verified solution. So now it gives us, if we look at our question, a rectangle has a length that is 4 centimeters more than twice its width. The area of the rectangle is 96 centimeters squared. Find the dimensions. So we can see that it gives us the answer straight away, as width is 6 centimeters and length is 16. Now what it does is it gives us the explanation as let the width be x, the length is 2x plus 4. Now the area, and it gives the area, and then it gives us the entire solution. Now, not only that, we can ask a follow-up question if you don't understand something, or if you want it to like give reasoning why it did something, why the length is 2x plus 4, and just it helps you like understand math questions more. Not only that, you can also see that this is what other people have done using the quadratic formula. This is questions that other people have done, and you can see those too. Now, if we go back to homework, and this time if we go to chemistry, and we upload our chemistry question, which we have over here, Then we can see that the question we have is the 6 marker, which is explain how the structure of an ionic compound such as sodium chloride relates to its properties. So it gives us a short, basic answer, which is the structure of sodium chloride as an ionic compound characterized by crystal lattice, and we can see that it gives us a really in-depth explanation, which is defining what an ionic compound is, describing the arrangement, explaining the significance of the crystallized structure, solubility, electrical conductivity, and it just summarizes the relationship between structure and properties. Now for this, you can also ask a follow-up question if you don't understand something, if you want it to go more in depth on something, or if you just want to ask it a completely different topic. You can see here it says explain or simplify this, and you can use this if you don't understand your homework, and it's really simple. You can upload pictures to, and it just really helps students. Not only that, it also has a writing helper. If we click on essay, it's similar to ChatGPT, which is an essay co-writer. We can read, research, write, and edit in one seamless platform. So if we enter the topic we want to write about, if we take an example, impact of plastic pollution on marine life. If we click start writing, we can see that it analyzes our query, it understands the request, it takes the keywords, it brainstorms, and it outputs the final essay. So we can see that it's given this in 7, 8, 9 total chapters. Now what's really cool is we can adjust the detail level if we want to make it more or less detailed. We can ask it to add stuff, subtract stuff, and it's just there for general assistance. And we can confirm the outline and start writing. So we can see that this is just the basic outline it's given us as introduction, ingestion. It's just an outline. If we click start writing now, we can see that it's given us the title, which is the detrimental effects of plastic pollution on marine ecosystems. We can see that it's it's writing it now. And now we can see that it's given us the entire, not really entire, but it's given us points on what we should do to help us write this essay. We can see the introduction, overview, discuss the exponential increase in plastic production globally, and we can just see how so many different points it gives us on how to write it, and it's just a really useful writing tool, and it gives us so many different chapters. Now the last tool that we have is in the writing helper. We can go to message. We can write a message to somebody, such as a warm message to my sick teacher to wish her a speedy recovery. You can set the word limit, you can set the tone. There's so many different tones you can use. And lastly, we have personal statement. Now this is for the older students. It can help you with school application. You write down your intended major, your target school, your career goals, your quality, and similar things. You can also use this for a scholarship application, your major/field of study, academic accomplishments, and so on and so forth. And even a job application for the job title, description, academic accomplishment, skills. And you can, for each of these, you can set a word limit and even what language. You see we have 4 languages here to use. And we also have a calculator that you can use. If we click on it, we can see we can also add word problems, which is similar to how it worked before. You can just add an image. Thanks for watching our video. If you'd like to know about more tools for different ages, make sure to comment down below and subscribe to our channel.